What's up, people? Sorry I didn't do this video yesterday. I was dead yesterday, man. So today I am gonna be listing my favorite movies from 1999, and gotta say this year was pretty good. This is the final year of the 90s. I thought there was also a good variety of just different movies, going from stuff like Galaxy Quest. Yeah, granted it's not gonna be in the list, but Blair Witch, even though the marketing that's like on the horror side. You have two great creature feature films that are going to be on the list. Lake Placid, Deep Blue Sea, and then like obviously the most iconic one on the list, The Matrix. So it's just like you had a big variety of movies in '99 and American Pie. So I just feel like '99 in general was like almost a definitely a big change. Oh, because that's when they started doing more like internet, because that's like when the internet was really getting big, is the late '90s to or basically to early 2000s. And yeah, anyway, let's not tomorrow, tonight I'm gonna be doing Skyfall. I've never seen it. I just hope it's better than fucking Quantum of Solace. Just be better than that and actually feel like a Bond film. Because Daniel Craig, like I said, he showed it in Casino Royale that he could be Bond. Quantum of Solace didn't even let him. They didn't really even let him have fun with the role in that movie. I'm hoping this one hopefully they move away from like the whole revenge thing and just have it just be a Bond movie. If they can just do that, I could be all right. So I'm watching that tonight. But anyway, let's get into my 1999 list, and it's gonna be 10. So the movie opens up. Sorry, I was thinking for doing a review. Number 10, Galaxy, which I actually watched last night. Like I need to kind of reacquaint myself with that movie. My God, the whole premise that these are actors in a show called Galaxy Quest. Obviously, the homage to Star Trek. But I will say this: I don't feel like you even have to be a trick. Because I watched this as a kid, and I was not into Star Trek at all at that point. And I still loved it. So I feel like it's a case where you don't necessarily even have to be into Star Trek. I think it might help a bit more because yeah, obviously if you know like the references and the little callbacks, you definitely will probably appreciate it more. But I feel like you can just appreciate it as just a funny movie because it is. It's just genuinely funny, and I love the whole premise that these are actors, but these aliens, because in their world they think these are actual like people, so they ask for their help, not knowing they're actors, trying to facilitate a deal with this other group of aliens that are villains. I fucking love the villain in this movie. The whole spider head. They really did a good job of capturing. Like I've seen a little old Star Trek, and they really did a good job of capturing that feel, like especially the bridge. But I just love it. It's just a genuinely well done movie. Like actual Galaxy Quest team is fucking awesome. I think they're genuinely funny. Alan Rickman's fucking great in this movie. Definitely one of Alan Rickman's great roles. Sigourney Weaver, I felt like she got to, obviously she's fucking hot as fuck in the movie, but I think she actually got to showcase like her funny side. I thought she was genuinely funny in this movie. Like, cause I feel like in Ghostbusters, she was the love interest. She didn't really get to showcase her funny. I felt like in this movie, she got to show it. I'm like, oh, she actually is funny. I love Tim Allen in this. Even Justin Long's in it. I like. You have a very the cast is great. Actually, the effect for like a lot of the aliens, even like the big rock monster when they're on the rock planet, look really good. Like obviously you could tell some of the CGI, but it looks decent for what it is, and I fucking love this movie. Never give up, never surrender. Even like, and the actor who plays Monk, that's what I know him from, Monk, on USA. I fucking love his character. The scene where he hooks up with the girl, and she has fucking tentacles, is fucking hilarious. Like, I think this movie is genuinely fun, and I definitely recommend it if you've not seen it. And you can enjoy it, and even if you're not like into Trek and you don't understand that, you can just enjoy it as just a comedy sci-fi movie. So that's on my number 10. Number 9, the South Park movie. I fucking love this movie. Like, I love the show, but the fact that Matt and Matt's Trey Parker and Matt Stone really, like, they outdid themselves here with this movie. Like, because this could easily just be an episode, and they're like, no, we're gonna make this a movie. Canada and America going to war, and some of, like, you know, very iconic, hilarious scenes, like Hartman seeing Kyle's mom's the biggest bitch in the whole world. I fucking love that scene. Or the scene where the kids are cursing at each other, they're saying fuck in front of Mr. Garrison, and Mr. Garrison, what did you say? Even Chef fucking, when he tells the general, like, have you heard of the Emancipation Proclamation? The general's like, sorry, I don't listen to hip hop. I was dead, dude, when I first watched this movie. This whole movie, because I had just got into the show. And honestly, I think this is the movie I guess it would make sense to watch it in the season that South Park came out in 99, but you can kind of just watch it on its own almost. You can almost, like, watch this if you want to, before you want to get into the show. You can almost just watch this just to kind of get a little taste of what you're going to get when you get into the show. The final battle, fucking Saddam in this movie. Like, that's why to me South Park is king, is because, yeah, they go at all sides, even at the time. um Operation Human Shield my ass. I fucking love that scene too. Like, the movie's genuinely funny. It's very quotable too. Um, I would even say, like I said, if you have not seen the show, but you don't want to, like, necessarily get too into the show yet, you can just watch the movie to give you a hint, because it's not necessarily like it. You have to watch, like, some movies that are tied to a show. Oh, you have to watch this, like, with this season. You don't have to do that with this one. This one you kind of can just watch on its own without even watching the show, because it's a good, like, it's not as, it's a movie. You're not, like, having to watch several episodes. So definitely, the South Park movie is a good one. So that's my number 9. Number 8 is um American Pie. American Pie to me is one of those movies that, like, I think it kind of made a generation. Obviously, you got a lot of American Pie like movies after, but just the story of 4 boys, basically wanting to not be a virgin. It's like, I also think it's just a good, like, even though it's more of a comedy, kind of a good coming of age kind of movie. You got these boys in high school just trying to get laid so they can get to the next point in their lives. Obviously, you got Jim fucking the pie. That's, like, the most iconic thing in this movie. But I reviewed the first one, like, I guess about 2 months ago now. I really love them. I think they hold up. The first one is just a simple comedy. I don't watch it, like, all the time, but it's just a good little story, and that's all it is. It's nothing more, nothing less. The cast is great. Fucking Stifler's awesome. Stifler's mom. Some of the greatest shit ever. So, I love American Pie. That's all I can really. I know I'm not really going on long about it, but it's really nothing left to say. But it's just a genuinely funny movie, fun cast. Yeah. So my number 7. I know a lot of people do not like this movie, but fuck it. And I'm not into Star Wars anymore, but I fucking have to mention it. Phantom Menace. Yes, there's a lot of cringe. Jar Jar, some of the effects at times, the fucking running scene with the jet, that was stupid. But take those moments out. I think there's more good. Darth Maul, actually, I had another bet. Jake Lloyd. Jake Lloyd. People go at him, for this movie, but let's be real. Jake Lloyd's just not a good actor. I'm sorry. He's in Jingle All the Way, and I found him annoying as fuck. I did not like him in that movie either. So I just think in general, he's just not a good actor. Like, I know everyone, it's this movie, but I feel like he was just as bad in Jingle All the Way. But besides that, Qui-Gon is a great character. It's a great not great, but good reintroduction to Star Wars at the time. You know that I'm sorry, Duel of Fates. Like whatever you say. Come on, man, that scene. Darth Maul fucking turns his lightsabers on, the double sided one, and then fucking the music hits. Qui Gon's death, which unfortunately they've ruined because one, he comes back as a Force ghost, even though that doesn't make any sense, or fucking you can get fucking stabbed in the chest now and survive in new Star Wars. So hey, so basically say Qui Gon's a bitch for dying from his. Aside from all that, I do love. I mean, I still love that final fight. Um, I like the story that obviously was setting up in the end. I think Attack of the Clones was not as good, and that's probably not going to be in my 2002 list. I'll mention it, but that probably won't be on the list. But I had to mention this one. Darth Maul is even that first fight on Tatooine, even though it's a really quick fight, was pretty good. So I like Phantom Menace, so I had to mention it. My number 6, Lake Placid. Lake Placid is I love the premise of this movie. I love the whole killer Croc movie. They're like, let's do a big killer Croc movie. And yeah, it's not a lot of kills. Like when I remember watching this again last year, I'm like, wait, wow, there's not a lot of kills. But then I actually think it works better. Make that scene where the Croc kills the bear is one of the greatest scenes, because that's a great way to establish a threat. Like this thing just killed a bear, like no problem. The cast is great. Bill Pullman, as I consider him the main character. I don't care if I guess if I had to say one negative, kind of the girl, she was kind of annoying. She gets better in the middle and the end of the film, but yeah, she starts off kind of annoying. I actually did like the cop character, and then the Croc catcher character. I can't think of that dude's name, but he's in a lot of fucking movies, especially at this time. I thought in general it was a fun little cast. Well, at least like even if as much I would love Croc Carnage. I do want like Croc Carnage, but I'm fine. Like if you can have a good enough story with characters that can kind of carry it, then I'm almost like, okay. Though that scene the Croc bit that dude's head off was like, holy shit. And I gotta say it, the Croc itself looked really good. I like that they try to do not show too much, but like especially when it made it that much better when we actually got a full shot of it. That was an actual animatronic, because I've seen the picture of the actual animatronic, yeah. So like I don't know if this movie had like a big budget. Um but yeah, I fucking love this movie. So that's my number 6. Number 5, Big Daddy with Adam Sandler. This is to me one of Adam Sandler's best movies. I think it's one of his more underrated ones. Because I don't feel like this. I mean, I think it does get mentioned, and I understand because the other ones like Happy Gilmore, Water Boy. I hate to say even the grown-ups movies, even though I don't really like them. But even like That's My Boy, I feel like gets more, and that's more his newer ones. I love this movie. The whole premise that Sonny, his character, because he has to get, because he's about to be broken up with his girlfriend, has to get more responsibility. So this day, this kid Julian lands on his doorstep, which that's I think it's Dylan Sprouse, and I love it. And he's actually a good kid actor in this. I like his chemistry with Adam, and Adam Sandler had to basically be used to being a dad, and it was just a great little movie. Kind of heartwarming too, and I'm gonna say it. I always, as a kid, one of the things that this movie always made me want is McDonald's breakfast, because there's like a scene where they try to get McDonald's breakfast, And obviously, probably the most iconic shot from the movie is when they're peeing on the side of the when Adam's peeing on the side of the building. I thought that was funny. Like it's like his old comedies, but you have that little bit of like, oh, he's about to raise a kid and become a foster dad. It's a great movie. It's all around an awesome movie. I definitely recommend it. I'm definitely gonna at some point get on an Adam Sandler kick and like review some of his movies, and that'll be one of them. Definitely, I think Happy Gilmore or Waterboy are gonna be the ones I like start with. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. My number four is Deep Blue Sea. This is to me my favorite non. Basically, I said this before. This is my favorite not Jaws shark movie because I love the characters in it. Samuel L. Jackson's death is one of the greatest deaths in fucking cinema. We're not gonna fight anymore. Like he's basically had this like inspirational speech, and he's like telling them we gotta work because the whole team at this point have been fighting within each other. So he's like, no, we're not doing this anymore. And he has like this all he says all he goes on this whole spiel. It is a fucking really like it was inspiring. Even as like the music playing, and then the shark just pops out and fucking eats him. I was shocked the first time when that happened. It was like, holy shit. Like I understand like when when you Mr. Arnold in Jurassic Park, he's died before. But keep in mind, this is the same year he's fucking Mace Windu in Star Wars. So it's like crazy to just see him get killed like that. LL Cool J is kind of a fun little character, even though he basically has his own little story. He's almost in his own movie while everyone else is doing their thing. The sharks look good. Some of the scenes, yeah, they look iffy, but fucking whatever. Like if your movie overall is like I've said this before, if your movies are like movie is good, I can get over bad CGI, you know. And I actually like the look of the sharks. I like the whole like reveal that they're actually genetically enhanced and are way more intelligent. That scene where they kill even when they kill their fellow shark, I thought that was a cool little scene. Like the sharks were a straight up menace in this movie. That's the one thing I think this movie really did a good job highlighting is how much of a menace. And like their teeth, because they were mako sharks. Their fucking teeth were crazy. So yeah, I had fun reviewing it. A couple of reviews. I guess it's almost be 2 years ago now. But yeah, fucking love this movie. Had to put this on the list because that when I think '99, this is definitely one of them. Number three, Austin Powers, Spy Who Shagged Me. This is my favorite Austin Powers movie. I love the first one, but I just love the comedy. Mini Me's introduction. Felicity Shagwell is my favorite Powers girl. I think of the movie, she's always been my favorite. I love like Heather Graham kills it. Fucking that scene in the beginning when you fucking the girl something swallows. I remember that's what her name was, and then she falls off the the building, and she's like using her as like a fucking yeah, like she takes a lot of damage. He's like, why won't you die? You get that's where this one is where we get like no matter I like the shush scene from the first one, but I love the zip it subtitle zip it Scotty zip it yeah man it's fucking hilarious like Mini Me was a great he's like that's why like it feels like you almost forget that he was introduced in the second movie. You almost think he was from the first one because it's like the way his character's brought in and he feels like he's just been there the whole fucking time. It's great. And then the scene where he sings fucking I'm trying to think of this. Yo, just the two of us, but it's the Will Smith version, clearly. Even though that song like decades away, or even the Let's Get It On with him and with Dr. Evil and Frau, it's hilarious, man. Like this movie's just all around funny. That's why to me I love it. It's my favorite of the three. I love all of them, but two to me is the one I tend to watch the most. Like the scene on the moon, I love the fight with him and of Austin and fucking Mini Me. It's yeah. But number two, We all know The Matrix. This movie, even though arguably is my number two, but if we're gonna be honest, this one changed cinema for sure. Because let's be real, how many Matrix kind of rip-offs or movies that basically try to copy that style came? The whole reveal, that everything, that life Neo has lived is fucking basically all fake, and that the real world is this fucked up world, and that's when we get that reveal. I love that that opening action scene with Trinity is so fucking good, man. It's just like, yeah. I don't blame people who say there should have never been other Matrix movies. I'm fine with 2. I like 2. 3 has problems, but I do like 2. But yeah, this one is so good that obviously the fucking action holds up. Hugo Weaving as uh Agent Smith is so fucking good, man. So eerie. Like that first scene, you don't know what he's gonna do. Mr. Anderson. Even just that line. It's obviously, Morpheus, Lawrence Fishburne really killed this. To me, that's his best role. Because you don't know a lot of, like, that's the thing, you don't know a lot. Like, you don't know where Morpheus is from. You don't know why he wants Neo. And then that training fight scene is great. And yeah, and obviously that scene where you get first see Neo kind of show how much of a badass he is great when him and Trent, because he has to rescue Trinity. Not Trinity, he has to rescue Morpheus from the agents. It's fucking awesome. I love him and Trinity fucking going in that building. The action is so good. And obviously we get that iconic scene where he dodges the bullet, bends backwards, that iconic scene. So Matrix is so fucking good. Like, I watch this. This is definitely one I watch yearly. Um it might be Keanu Reeves' best movie. And definitely Mr. Agent Smith is definitely like one of the best villains ever made. Just the simplest, like that fight between him and Neo. And then Neo, like, he thinks, Agent Smith thinks he won, and then Neo, oh, it's so fucking good, dude. And he's just like casually blocking all of Agent Smith. It's so good. Yeah, I had to go on a little bit about The Matrix. It's just, yeah, 10 out of 10. You just watch it if you've never seen it. I don't blame people who say it should have only been one movie, but I like Matrix Reloaded, so that's my number 2. My number 1, The Mummy. I mean, Brendan Fraser as Rick O'Connell. I love this type of movie. I love that it was a perfect reinvention of the Mummy, because they perfectly, had that obviously Indiana Jones feel, because I think that makes sense with the Mummy. You're going in tombs. It makes sense that obviously something like that's gonna have a tone like that, right? And and it has horror moments. That scene when Imhotep kills the dude for the book, and you just see his body, or like even before he kills him, and you just see him following him, is creepy. And the effects for Imhotep still look great. Rachel Weisz as Evie is great. Though I do prefer a character in the second movie, I do love her in this one. I love the chemistry. That's why I've said Rick and Evie might be one of the best movie character couple. Like, I've said the best is Rocky and Adrian, but I'd put them maybe at number 2. Like, you even in this movie can feel like the love and just chemistry. Like, they feel like they actually should be together in a movie. I love Jonathan as the comedy act in the movie, and it wasn't overly done. And I think it's fine to have characters like that, and it not be annoying. The first thing you see Imhotep's even creepier. Like, when the dude loses his glasses, he can't see. You just hearing Imhotep. Yeah, and then when we first see him, it's fucking awesome. And then when he's fully regenerated, Arnold Vosloo killed it as Imhotep, man. Because it's like you have to act without even like seeing your face for a lot of the movie. So I love The Mummy. I love the final act. The music. Actually, I think one of the things from the Mummy movies I feel like it don't really get mentioned is the score is fucking amazing. Like, genuinely amazing. is a solid modern take. I mean, I love the original Mummy movie from like the 30s, but I think this is the case. Another one where I'd say the remake's better. I'm sorry, even though almost I don't know if you can even really compare though, because I feel like this Mummy is radically different than the original. Because the original is more horror. This one's straight up like it has horror elements, but it's definitely more of an action movie. So, but anyway, guys, next week it'll be on Monday. I'll try to make sure it's on Monday next week. We'll be doing 2000, the year 2000. So, start of the new millennium, which sucks partially just because I'm of the ones I've because we did the 80s too. 90s might have been my favorite decade so far for at least this series, just because I felt like there were so many big ones. But 2000, early 2000s, there were some big ones, so not necessarily bad, but it's just like the 90s. There was just so many. Anyway, guys, later I'll be doing Skyfall. That's about it. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later.